it enables people in Liverpool to engage in art in different ways, because it actually brings, because often when art isn't just in a particular gallery, people interact with it in a different way. So if they're in sort of venues which aren't seen as specifically art venues, people just sort of people's perceptions are different. So for example, if it's an installation on the side of a building, then I think you get people who wouldn't normally go to galleries engaging with art, and I think that can only be a positive.
Because when the biennial first started, obviously people didn't know if it was going to work or not, and then obviously it's grown, and obviously we get certainly the international side of it has grown, and things like it made it easier to make Liverpool a focus for bringing to the Turner Prize, which happened just recently, and that wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for the Liverpool Biennial.
Liverpool's, over the last few years, since I've returned to Liverpool, it's become a huge sort of tourist venue, and because of the international focus of the biennial, it's raised tourist revenue, and I think anything culturally that raises the profile is a good thing. And I think you see it in lots of different ways. You see it in you see it in different tourists, but I think just the level of artistic debate tends to permeate all the newspapers, and it can be good for the city.
With, say, the Edinburgh Festival, for instance, to be all-encompassing, and in some ways there's elements of it becomes too big, it becomes unwieldy, and I wouldn't want the Liverpool Biennial to get too big. It just means it's still got to have a bit of an edge, it's still got to be radical, and it's still got to be one that will take some risks and not be afraid to introduce people to some difficult art as well.
I think hopefully it'll be a well-established art event like the Venice Biennale, something which is, because I think Liverpool as a cultural city its profile's growing all the time, and hopefully the biennial will be on a par with the biennial and the Venice Biennale, which has got a huge international reputation.
All these things are all part of the same sort of drive to make Liverpool much more serious, in terms of to be taken seriously. Yeah. And I think it now that we don't really have to pretend that we don't have to overcompensate. Liverpool now has a reputation of being a very creative cultural place, and it's not just the Beatles anymore. Yeah.
Rainy old days and a curling night surrounds me.